Welcome to Tucson, Arizona for the four-man Icebreaker Challenge here at Clark Park. My name is Dave Vincent alongside David Fink. Dave, we wanted to show people that we could safely hold an event with all of this COVID nonsense going on, all this protocols, the social distancing that people have been doing during the pandemic. We wanted to close the park down, have the referee wear a mask, and then have our fans social distance as well with their masks on as we have this amazing match and lineup that we have over the weekend here in Tucson, Arizona. What are your thoughts as we approach this first tournament since February?
Well, I'm very excited to see pro handball back. I'm very excited that we're doing it the right way with the protocols that you mentioned. The park is closed. Everyone is very safely distanced from one another, but we're also getting to enjoy what we love, which is handball at the most beautiful three-wall court complex in the world. Dave, I've been to them all, and nothing beats Clark Park. So to be able to showcase Clark Park, obviously not with as many fans and as many players as we'd like, but we're doing it the right way, and we're looking forward to a great day of matches here.
Okay, now you're going to be in this event as well. You're the number one seed. Shorty Ruiz is here, Abraham Montijo, and the newly acquired Sam Esser from the United States Handball Association, just down the street from the World Players of Handball. He is up here first as the 4 seed going up against Shorty Ruiz.
Sam Esser has been a great addition to Tucson handball, carrying on the tradition, Dave, that Tucson has boasted for the last 50 or 60 years with so many top players living in Tucson, training in Tucson. Now he joins that kind of illustrious group. I've had a chance to play Sam a bunch of times. He says he's not a three-wall player, but this guy can really play. He's played quite a bit of three-wall in the Midwest, played in the KCAC, and he's one of the most winning players of the last 3 or 4 years. Every time you look around, he's winning a stop in, the Bear Bash or in Austin. He's always picking up wins. Now here he is in Tucson, where the competition's a little bit stiffer. Let's see how he does here against Shorty Ruiz, who is the 3-time three-wall ball world champion.
Now, Matt Kruger from the United States Handball Association, is he officially now the executive director? Because if so, he is our referee.
Yes.
For this match.
Yes, Matt is. He took over that responsibility just around Labor Day. Vern retired officially there.
0-0. It's best 2 out of 3 to 21. Breaker to 11.
That is such a good serve. Shorty hits that 3 or 4 inches from the line. It hops about 3 feet.
Again, the tournament, Dave, is really designed to show people that this can be done. We can get back onto the courts if we follow the proper protocols.
Second serve.
Now, these guys have sparred a few times here at Clark Park. Sam actually defeating Shorty one of those times, and Shorty coming back the very next time and beating him badly. Said to him, "You'll never beat me with anything on the line again."
And that's just really the equalizer, that shot right there.
Well, that goes down as a kill shot in three-wall. That power ceiling over the head.
2-0.
It's one of those shots that looks like it's really easy to do until you get up there
Right.
and have to change your whole motion for that shot. Not too easy.
Now, you get a good view of the court there, Dave, as we watch this point play out. Sam comes in and hits a nice kill. The ceiling is very short here, so it's really only an offensive ceiling. This is not the kind of ceiling that's going to bail you out like maybe in Kansas City where the ceiling goes all the way back. You have to hit it perfectly, otherwise you're hitting that screen or over the court.
You can see that beautiful backdrop when Shorty dropped back to hit that shot right there. Golf course Randolph, which is famous here in Tucson, Arizona.
1, place 2.
I mean, this complex is absolutely beautiful. And it's smoking hot today. Smooth left.
Sam has an amazing left. I noticed that the first point we played when he moved to town in June.
2, place 2.
2-2 here. Sam serving. We're playing 2 to 21 here, Dave. A tiebreaker to 11 if necessary. Win by 1.
Check it. Check it.
Now, because of the pandemic, we haven't told the public that we're actually out here playing this tournament. So it's kind of a catch-22. We want to promote the event, but we don't necessarily need fans breaking the protocols. So that's why we're bringing it to you live here on video today as the WPH returns to professional handball.
That's a great left-to-left return from Shorty off a pretty good serve there from Sam, and Shorty's able to hit that fist right back down the left wall, and Sam unable to make the play.
And there's that ceiling shot that you're talking about. It's almost impossible to hit the ceiling from
You're
deep.
thinking you're in a great position there, and just inevitably you just keep hitting that screen or over the court because that ceiling is so short. And if you don't get your back foot on the ground, you will hit that top screen or just miss it completely. That's a great first strike kill from Sam.
I like Sam's serves here, these tight, sort of Andy Net style serves.
There's an error from Shorty. I've played Sam quite a bit outside, and what he's improved most since first moving here is his serve and return a serve.
Sloppy play right here. Oh my. Is that on purpose?
Yeah, Shorty's tired. That was a 15-shot rally, and Sam's not anticipating that shot. And that's one of his weaknesses in three-wall, is not anticipating those, floating corner kills that Shorty hits. And we'll see if that costs him in this match.
Well,
But that's a ball Sam should be moving forward on. That ball was probably hit about a foot high, and Sam's nowhere near it.
You're talking about Sam serves earlier. I saw that Vern Roberts is here and giving advice to Sam. Now, how important is it for his growth to have a guy like Vern giving him advice on three-wall?
Yeah, Vern's one of the all-time greats, and he's one of the greats to talk handball with also.
Place 4.
I know Sam was living with Vern the first couple weeks he was in town.
Second serve.
Uh-oh.
One of the benefits, Dave, of closing the park is you can really hear the sounds of the game. Hearing that ball hitting off these concrete walls, as well as these guys hit it. For a handballer, that's like an opera.
Love that shot. Sam already knows it's going to go out the tank. This is the 4-man Icebreaker Challenge if you just tuned in. Tucson, Arizona. Shorty Ruiz is the number 2 seed. Sam Esser is the number 4 seed. Game number 1.
5-4 here, Shorty leads, and that's a first strike opportunity error from Shorty.
4 place 5. Thank you.
Boy, it sure looked like he got that. He says no quickly, but
5 place 5.
Shorty makes the tired shot there. You cannot shoot in front of your opponent in three-wall. Takes a lot of discipline to play this game well, to force yourself to play the ball high until you get your opponent behind you.
6 place 5.
I can really see Sam becoming a really good three-wall player.
Yeah, I see him being just a great all-around player. Shorty with another air there, and Sam's starting to build a lead here.
7 place 5.
Ooh.
Point.
Now you talk about Sam's Andy Net type serves. It'd be even more effective if he was able to hit the deep serve
8
more
place 5.
efficiently, closer to the back line.
beautiful shot there. Nice selection, nice sequence, I should say, from Sam Esser. If Sam is going to hit that one that's just over the line, doesn't he need to neutralize by going deep eventually?
Well, he went deep there with a big natural away from Shorty. It's hard to hit a natural that goes out the door on these courts because you can see the side wall goes 3 to 4 feet past the back line. So a lot of those naturals clip the side wall, but not that one. That was hitting the perfect spot.
That was a tired shot from Shorty.
Well, it's hard to play from back there. You know, when you're falling backwards, trying to hit the ball high and hard to the front wall with a very short ceiling,
11, place 5.
it's tough to keep the ball in the court.
That's the shot that Shorty has that is just unbelievable. It feathers back to the left, sliding down that wall. And it takes just total control to get it there. Using a fist just adds a little bit more MPH to it.
And there's another example. Dave, we could probably count 30 or 40 balls that are going to hit that screen on those deep shots.
11.
Incredible hop right there.
Well, see, Sam's not reading that. That was pretty obvious that was a big reverse. And that's actually the serve you want in 3-ball. You've got a full swing right down the middle of the court with Shorty pinned on the right. And Sam doesn't take advantage. He just lets that ball jam right into his body and makes that air. Now, that will go down as an ace serve, but I think as a pro player, Sam will watch that and probably have expected himself to make a good return there.
Place 11.
Ooh. And, you know, it's really difficult to swing and follow this ball on these bright courts. I can see a guy swinging and missing out here.
Well, Shorty changed his mind on that shot. He was going to go for a paddle kill, and then at the last second decided to go for the ceiling. That indecision cost him. Another ace there from Sam.
Yeah, Sam has some really sneaky serves. If he can get that same exact serve that's about 4 inches before the long line, maybe even 2 feet before the long line,
Right.
that would be impossible to get back.
Right, and that's what he needs, because that'll keep the returner having to play behind the back line, which will really open up those ace serves just over the short line. Now that's a terrible serve in 3-ball right in the middle of the court. Shorty makes an error. That was that fist, Dave, with a lot of MPHs, but just too much.
Place 7.
Nice reverse. Excuse me, a natural hook there. Shorty got it back.
Yeah, Sam's automatic on those corner kills with both hands from the midcourt.
14, place 7.
Really in control here, Sam is.
14-7. Sam's cruising.
A terrible serve, though. And that's the kind of serve you can't afford to make against a player of Shorty's caliber, because the runs out here can be
7, place 14.
very quick. And there's an error from Sam, but you know, Sam's serving at 14-7. He's got all the momentum. Just leaves a huge setup hanging off the side wall on his first serve. Now Shorty's in at 8-14.
8, place 14.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Shorty go on a big run here.
Well, he's got that great serve, and he just gave it to you right there. The amazing natural hook out that door. Sam was backpedaling. Even if it wasn't a hook, I think Sam was in a bad position.
Well, I think as a player, you need to go for less there and just force yourself to put the ball back in the court and make the server make another shot. Looked to me like Sam is trying to go with a high, hard 2-wall shot when the better play is just return it. See what happens. Because you know what happens if you swing and miss or put the ball on the ground. Score should be 9-14 here.
Okay, you guys ready? New ball. 10, place 14.
Well, it's 10-14, and another amazing serve.
Yeah, that's incredible.
There from Shorty as it slides out that
No,
side
nothing you
wall.
can do there. Perfect serve.
11, place 14.
See if he slips one to the right. He's been over there to the left. I like that serve, Dave, if it's deep.
That was a nice return from Sam.
Point.
That's Shorty taking advantage of Sam's 3-wall inexperience there. Sam hanging back there, expecting Shorty to go high. He opens up that corner kill.
Point.
Nice play there from Shorty. Knew all he had to do was just tap that for the winner.
13, place
Remember,
14.
Sam led 14-7. What was it, Dave? About 2 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Side out.
Sam told me the other day, 3-wall's a game of runs, so he knows this can happen.
14, place 13. Point.
Sam with a Shorty serve there. Hard reverse that just
Score is 15,
disappears
13.
out of the court.
Well, I feel that that's one of the serves that he can do when he's cracking that ball near the short line on the right wall, and then he goes deep over there with the left side. That can kind of neutralize your opponent pretty easy. It gets into your head when you're out there, and all of a sudden you're starting to see a lot of different serves.
Right.
Sam has a lot of serves. He doesn't just stick with one or two. He has
Right.
a full gauntlet. I was going to say for a moment, I felt like the difference between Sam and Shorty, as we watch that run from Shorty, is that Shorty has more of a well-rounded game compared to Sam at this point. But Shorty makes a lot of hand errors, especially here.
Score is 15, place 13.
15-13, game number 1.
That's an incredible shot there from Sam. Very hard to hit a fly kill from against the right wall into the left corner from 30 feet back.
15, place 13.
That's that left to left shot. That time was not a fist. I'm still not sold on the fist shot. I know that I'm in the minority there, but I just think that the amount of errors it creates doesn't
13,
warrant
place 16.
the amount of great shots it produces.
That's a good shot.
That's amazing. That's a left hand. Now you go out in the court and try and hit with your offhand, power it to the ceiling so it goes 50 feet out of the court. There's not too many people that can do it. Shorty's on that list that you can count on one hand. Matt Kruger telling me he can remember back at the 3-wall junior national, Shorty was just untouchable there, punching balls to the ceiling into the bleachers at Venice Beach. No one could beat him,
14.
Matt was telling me.
14, place 16.
Very close game here, as we expected.
One.
Sam's lucky that was long.
Well, you see Shorty makes his mistakes on the serve long, which doesn't hurt him. Sam's mistakes are more in the middle of the court, giving Shorty easy returns.
Serve.
Yeah, Shorty's got a good system when he's rolling.
Well, he's definitely rolling now, down 14-7.
15, place 16.
Now trails by just one, 15-16, and that's just long. But Dave, you know how it is when you're, part of a really strong handball community. You don't want someone come to town in their first tournament and,
Second serve.
taking you down.
Right.
I mean, Sam's part of our community now, but this is still his first tournament.
Now, is there a better way for Sam to approach this? Does he need to run backwards like that? Can he turn sideways or even almost face up and run
No.
straight back? Is it non-gettable no matter what?
Right. The only way to avoid that shot is not to give Shorty the opportunity to hit that punch to the ceiling.
But it just seems to me that running backwards is not going to help you. You have to at least turn sideways.
Yeah, turning sideways would help, but the way his body is positioned there, it's going to be hard no matter what he does.
Meanwhile, you have Shorty stepping forward, so he's going to cut off anything that you hit.
Second serve.
That's a terrible error there from Sam. But Sam hit a good return there. He bounced the ball in front of Shorty up and around Shorty's shoulder, so he couldn't play offense. But anytime Shorty can take that return serve out of the air from his waist or lower, you just have to hope for an error. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice shot from Shorty, but Sam gives him the opportunity by hitting that shot way too low on the front wall.
That was still a tough shot, though, from
Yeah.
Shorty.
But it's a shot that when you play Shorty, you know that's coming if you give him that opportunity. Sam had an opportunity to either blast that ball to the ceiling with his right hand from the left side wall or go high straight back down the right. Instead, he hit under that WPH outdoor sign, gave Shorty the whole court down the right.
You're watching the WPH four-man Icebreaker Challenge here in Tucson, Arizona. One match each day for the next 4 days to include this one.
Shorty, I believe, is leading now 17-16 after trailing 14-7. We'll listen for the score. Sam just took a timeout to try and regroup.
Back in. 18 plays 16.
And that's a terrible error there from Sam, who got a serve he really could handle. That landed right in the middle of the court to his right, and he hits it in the ground, gives Shorty that 19 point.
19 plays 16. Right up.
Now Shorty makes that error there. It looks like he was trying to force that ball to the ceiling. Remember, Dave, this ceiling is so short that if you try and hit it from 5 or 10 feet behind the short line, it's going to be very hard to catch it.
16 plays 19.
That's a first point in quite some time for Sam, who is on the receiving end of a 2-12 run. Now it's 3-12.
17 plays 19.
17-19 in game number one, and he goes for that Andy Net deeper serve.
Right out.
Sam will definitely want to have that one back.
Now, could he have done more of one of those
19
two-wall
plays 17.
passes from there, hit it about maybe 10, 15 feet high and go for a deeper pass?
Well, I mean, hitting a 2-wall pass with your opponent behind you is not a good play in 3-wall. I think going for the kill there was the right shot.
Second serve.
Ooh. I'm not sure that was on purpose, but I guess it was. Underhanded fist, right?
I think that was an open hand paddle. Open stance inside out. I've never seen a shot like that before.
That's like 47 feet, 48 feet back.
Yeah, and there's a more traditional
And he,
flag kill. But yeah, that shot at 19-16 is definitely one for the highlight reel. Incredible. Shorty backs himself into that left side wall and hits, would you call that an Irish whip? Or
I mean, that's what it looked like. It's almost like in the old days when you weren't good, Dave, that for you that was like 9 years old, and you'd hit your thumb on that, and it would come out a little wide and have the perfect spin where it just sticks up. That was an underhanded punch. I guess you're saying paddle. I thought it was a fist, but
Shorty just told me he was going for that shot.
oh my gosh.
Looked over.
Unbelievable shot there from Shorty, who takes game number one. Sam Esser will have the serve here in game number two. It's the four-man icebreaker, as we like to call it around here, and really just breaking the ice on these tournaments that have been put on hold due to the pandemic.
We're going to take a look at the stats from game one as we jump into game two here. Both guys with 5 ace serves there in that first game, Dave.
Oh, that's a beautiful kill shot. Off balance, left-handed feather, left to front for Sam Esser.
Well, he pushes off that back foot, and that's another reason I'm not convinced that he's right-handed, because to hit a shot like that with your left is almost impossible if that's your offhand.
Sam thought about leaving his feet there.
Shorty had 5 first strike kills in that first game to go with 5 aces. Sam had 4 first strike kills.
It felt like more for Sam than 4.
There's a first strike kill there, or excuse me, an error. But now remember, a kill in 3-ball can be the power ceiling. It's a rally ender.
Right.
Shorty with 2 return of serve kills. Now those were those high left to left shots that Sam couldn't handle. They weren't flat rollouts right in front of Sam. Sam with none. The biggest difference, Dave, in that first game was Shorty with 12 right-hand rally enders, Sam with just 6. So you look at the difference in the scoreboard, 21-17, Shorty hitting 6 more right-hand kills than Sam. That's your difference right there. Both winning 3 6-plus shot rallies.
Don't you love it when they hand you the stats after the first game? It feels good, doesn't it?
Well, we've got a great team working here, so. You talked about Shorty's hand errors. He made 9 errors in that first game, but Sam with 7, including 3 in that last sequence after he called a timeout. So almost half of Sam's errors coming at 16-16 to 21-17.
Some lazy feet there from Sam Esser.
That game 25 minutes and 3 seconds long, but I can tell you these guys feel like it was much longer. Great serve there from Shorty.
Yeah, the sun is pretty brutal out here. It's a nice day, but it's still tough to play handball in the middle of the day out here in Tucson, Arizona. It's very dry. And a lot of air traffic today from the Air Force Base.
I think we saw a couple of F-16s flying overhead, Dave. Was that for the icebreaker, or are they practicing?
Yeah. There were some F-16s earlier, but the ones that you're hearing right now, that's the A-10 Warthog, the Thunderbolt II.
And I know that we had a good deal of smoke and cloud cover because of the fires in Northern California. And today seems pretty bright, though.
Yeah, today is
like
a really nice day.
Okay.
Everybody's out. They're flying around. Just not a lot of people in the park because of this pandemic that we're in the middle of. I like how we were able to get the park closed down for the event. But
just so people know, we do have the permit with the city. We're
that's right.
Following all of the city COVID-19 guidelines.
Now, we would have allowed people to play on the other courts if they wanted to, just so you know, but there's nobody here. So
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I think they are a little intimidated about getting onto the courts. We didn't say they couldn't, and it would be okay if they did. I mean, especially court number 5 over there. That's, you can see in the distance.
Is that the Tiger Woods court right next to the golf course?
No, the one that's on the far right there.
Oh, okay. Sam up 5-1 here. A lot of talk about F-16s and stats and weather. And Sam just quietly going about his business here with the double fault, with the announcer's curse. Shorty comes in at 1-5. Shorty takes that first game, a big comeback, scoring 14 of the last 17 points of the game.
Yeah, it was a really nice ending to that one. I don't know if he can repeat it. Pretty good shot there from Sam. What was Sam thinking on that second serve previously when he went long? It's not the place you even want to put a serve, really.
Well, it's a funny feeling in 3-ball when you're hitting that second serve. You have this huge court to hit into. I mean, what is it, 20 feet by 20 feet to get a serve into? Yet for some reason when you're hitting a second serve, it feels like you're hitting it into a spot the size of a dime. You get nervous. How can I hit this ball in the court? You end up hitting a lot of second serves right in the middle of the court. Too safe.
6-1, game number 2. Shorty Ruiz wins game 1, 21-17.
Another good short serve there from Sam, who sets himself up for a perfect first strike kill.
I like how he used the right corner on that. And he really flanks out Shorty behind him.
Right. He uses the corner as well to keep the ball down.
I mean, I could see easily on that previous shot, if he went to the center of the court trying to hit a kill shot and he leaves it up just a little bit, it could hop over to the left wall, Shorty can get it. But he goes over to the right, keeps it down. Just a little extra footwork to make sure that he got that point. Big thanks once again to the United States Handball Association. Matt Kruger out here as the referee today. And I believe Vern Roberts is going to have a match maybe a little bit later in the tournament.
Very nice for the players to not have to jump off the court and start refereeing, because we will be playing this entire tournament in the sun. So you want to try and rest as much as you can.
Now, we do have fans here. I know our cameras haven't swung out, but it wasn't announced. It hasn't been promoted in that way. This is just going to be promoted on TV, so to speak. And the ones that we do have are all social distancing. They have seats that are set up with distance here, which is pretty cool.
9-1 now, Sam. Leading.
Wow, that's a good shot from Sam. Just clips that side wall deep. Is there a way, Dave, out here on a return of serve, if you use your, let's say, to your left hand and you pop one of those big, huge wraparounds, right side wall first, goes up to the ceiling, can it wrap all the way around and still go out the door?
I've tried
on
that
the right
many
side?
times, and I haven't been able to do it.
There has to be a position on that
Abraham
court.
told me that he did it, and he pulled that shot off. I have tried it many times, and even when I've thought I've hit it perfectly with the right angle and the right speed, it still clipped that sidewall just about 6 inches before the end of it. So if I'm hitting it 6 inches from the end of it, I'd say probably. You could probably figure out the right angle, bring out your Bryson DeChambeau protractor, and you might be able to. I just haven't been able to do it. And I've thought, just bouncing the ball myself, trying it, I thought I'd be able to get it, but I haven't.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But Abraham told me he did it, so apparently it's been done.
It might take a little bit of spin off of your knuckles there.
You're talking about a fist?
Yeah, well, yeah, or open hand, either way, but just any ball that can go into the side wall first, hit the front wall, then hit the next side wall on the opposite wall, and then go out the door.
Right. And the first time I played three-wall, I remember someone telling me, you don't use that three-wall wraparound shot here, but I found that it's very effective in this game. It's not a setup.
Well, if you have power, it really is effective. I've seen some that have hit it so softly that it becomes, you end up becoming pinned behind your opponent.
Well, I don't think you want to hit anything softly in three-wall. This is a power game. And look at that miss there from Sam. He's up 12-1. Shorty is 10 feet behind the back line. If Sam hit the front wall there, he's got the 13th point. Now, I see you circling your scorecard right now.
Yeah.
After that miss.
Sam looks tired on that shot, and that should have been a gimme.
Well, that was a gimme. I mean, he should be up 13-1. Now Shorty's going onto Waveland Avenue here with this punch shot. I mean, he's like Sammy Sosa. When he gets that fist to the ceiling, he's going, over the street into those apartment buildings.
I love handball players. You miss your court, but you run over really quick to see if it made it to the front wall. It's my favorite. And if we're talking about baseball, it's like being in Chicago and hitting a foul ball and seeing if you got out to the street. Like, it really makes a difference. It's still a foul ball.
Well, when you hit a 500-foot foul ball, I think it's an automatic strikeout in that at bat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. 12 plays 2 here. So Sam seemed to mitigate the damage of that gimme miss.
Wow, beautiful shot. I love his use of the side wall. The front as being the second place the ball hits. First one being the side wall first.
13, place 2.
You see a lot of other players go to the front wall first and then clip the side wall, and it's just not the same. Not in that position anyway. Now, when Paul Brady does it, it seems to be a winner every time. And that's a tricky one.
Now, that ball bounced down that flank on the side wall. Could Sam have just backed up and played it off all those bounces off that?
I've heard people talk about stuff like that out at these courts. I don't think so.
Okay. Because technically the ball has not hit the ground. It's just bouncing on that sidewall.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
I think it could only happen in doubles if you happen to just be standing there.
I think it only happens when you're the minority in the group and everybody else is really serious. It'll only happen when I'm playing and I wasn't the one who hit it.
Right.
Oh, I like that too. See, that's another one that kind of just veers over that corner.
Well, that's even better. That's even better than going down the middle because now it's bounced out of the court over the sidewall, making it legitimately impossible to return.
3-13, and another good serve from Shorty. That one edging out that left side wall. That's a nice natural hook.
I think Sam lets that ball get too deep. I think he's got to step in before that ball comes to the side wall. Easy to say, though, from here.
Well, you know, I always hate when announcers do this, but I'm going to. Dave Chapman would take a couple steps in and just kind of, one bounce that really quick. Kind of a Sean Linney, but without the power, he would just use an open hand and feather that back down that left wall.
Right, and I think that's the right play there because I think once you let that ball hop and get deep on you, it's almost impossible to return. Now Shorty's really in a groove here. Seems like he's either hitting an ace or a first strike kill, and you can kind of feel the comeback coming. Now, he was down 14-7 in game one, down 12-1 in this game. He came all the way back to win game one. By indications here, he's going to at least work his way back into this game here. Now it's 6-13. So he scored 5 out of 6. Make that 6 out of 7. That was kind of a fortunate kill for Shorty.
7 plays 13.
I like that serve. See, that's what I'm saying about Shorty's all-around game. He's able to hit a serve deep like that, but then he comes right back with a little Lobo-style up front, big ball flop. I mean, he's got a lot of dimensions to it.
Well, I don't think Sam's putting enough pressure on Shorty with his feet. He's hanging back and allowing Shorty to get away with these, what you call, the Lobo soft kill.
But see, that's set up from that deep serve from Shorty. He hits it right on the line deep, and you have to make quick decisions, especially if you haven't played 3-wall before. It's tough to run in there and try to cut that ball off. Sam just puts his hand out. Shorty hits it where Sam ain't. It's a tough game to play, but you have a guy like Shorty that's been playing 3-wall his whole life.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sam said, hey, I don't play 3-wall like you guys. I said, well, we've probably played 3-wall 5 times in the last 7 years that I've been here. Just started playing once these courts were finished. And then, of course, these courts were closed for a while, Dave.
Yeah, they
weren't able to use them.
Even when we had them open, they weren't being used as much. I mean, think about it. The grand opening was in November.
Second serve.
Courts were closed in March for about 3 months.
The pandemic hit right at the first of the year. And the courts were open in late November.
Right.
So even though they were closed in March, we weren't really playing. It was the 4-wall season.
Right.
You guys don't go out and play.
Tour.
You don't play 3-wall in the 4-wall season.
And it's chilly here.
What?
Yeah.
It got all the way down to 96. 9-13, just 4 points away now.
It's true. I forgot you were a climate changer.
Am I? It's nice to see you walk onto the court here, Dave, and throw that ball back.
Bluetoothing it. You can't see the Bluetooth, but I've got it in my ear.
Well, you and I are social distancing. I'm on the far left of you.
Right.
Also with my headset on.
That's a nice fly kill from Sam. Shorty goes for the ceiling there, but doesn't get it. Now, does this hurt or help a guy like Sam who's coming in here playing Shorty, who's got this amazing 3-wall record, but he doesn't have to deal with any fans or, you know, any kind of the other things that go into playing a big match like this? Sort of like what you saw at the U.S. Open in golf, where,
14, please.
you know, normally to win these tournaments, you got to deal with 50,000 people screaming, putting on the pressure. Here, you don't feel that.
Well, I still think it's definitely going to help him. He just needs the game experience. He is also playing a guy that's kind of a master. So he's going to learn some shots. He's going to emulate those. I think this is better for him, even without the fans, although that's going to be a whole separate amount of pressure once we get back rolling. Not sure what Shorty was trying to do there.
Changed his mind again.
Timeout. Your second.
Surprised he didn't pop it back to the roof from there.
Well, he was going to, and then he decided to go for the corner at the last second, but still had the fist.
Come back in. 15 frame with fan
4-man Icebreaker Challenge in Tucson, Arizona. It's one match every day for the next 4 days. Today's included in that, where we're going to feature a 4-man tournament starting at the semifinals. The first semifinal match is Sam Esser and Shorty Ruiz. The next one is going to be Abraham Montijo, last year's finalist at the 3-Wall Nationals in Toledo, up against Dave Fink, sitting or standing, I guess, with no shirt on here to the right.
Right.
You were sitting at one point.
You don't see too many announcers not wearing a shirt.
You know you're a handball player when.
Yeah, I didn't see Nick Faldo shirtless
No.
at the last stop.
Timeout.
Chrissy Everett. She didn't do it.
Ball, 15, place 10.
Sam's still in the driver's seat here, Dave. There's that beautiful left shot from Shorty.
Now
Sam's.
Shorty's starting to move his feet. You can see the difference there. Sam gets away with that shot. Would call that an air there from Shorty.
Place 10.
And Sam misses that. Wow.
I thought Shorty was a little close on that shot.
I think Sam wanted him there because he was totally out of the play.
It just felt like there was a little contact, a little something going on back there. Sam doesn't really argue, does he?
No. Could not hear the score there.
He must have good parents. I wouldn't know personally what that's like, but I've heard it makes a difference.
Shorty's got Sam all over the court. He's 10 feet behind the court. Shorty's next shot goes 5 inches high into the right corner.
Left, place 16.
11-16. So Sam's still got a nice cushion here.
I like that. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? I actually thought that was a reverse when he hit it. Didn't it look
no,
like
I think it was reverse, but it
popped.
it didn't ride straight out of the court.
They had Sam all twisted.
That's a great shot from Shorty. That left hand fly paddle. We haven't seen a lot of that shot from Shorty today. He had just 2 left hand kills in that first game. Shorty did.
I love that shot. Yeah. Unless I'm playing Shorty, then no. It's a beautiful underhand left to front kill.
Well, Sam did well to return that power ceiling shot, and Shorty was waiting for it and made a pretty difficult fly kill into the left corner. So that's 2 consecutive points he's won with paddle fly kills, one with the left, one with the right.
Want to thank the city of Tucson, Arizona, the Parks and Rec here at Randolph Park, here inside of Clark Park, for their help today. Benny Young for putting everything together for us, as always. The United States Handball Association showing their support. They too want to see how well a tournament can go when you social distance and follow all of the guidelines
15,
during this pandemic.
16.
Nat Kruger and Vern Roberts, and that's a great shot from Shorty. How did he angle that just perfectly? Because it looked like it was at the wrong angle to go out the court like that.
Shorty is rolling now, showing his whole offensive arsenal. And it starts with pinning Sam deep.
Shorty should put this away. And he does.
That's just like a T-ball right there. Shorty could have done anything with that last shot and won the rally.
17 plays 16.
Oh, great serve. And Shorty is winning a lot of first strike points here. 4 of the last 5 points were on first strikes.
18 plays 16.
The rally before that, he won on 9 shots, but had Sam running all over the court.
Oh, Sam can't miss that.
He's got the open stance there. He didn't need it. He could have closed his stance there. But the shot previous to that, he had an easy left-hand kill down the left, and he's playing it too safe now with his left, going left to right, cross court, instead of pinching that left corner, going straight down the left.
Shorty, you have 19 points here? That was long. I believe he's up to 19.
Yes.
Is that right?
Second serve.
It's another bad error. And Sam's been plagued by these bad errors late in these games.
Match point.
Wow.
20 plays 16.
20 to 16 here to complete the comeback, and he does it with a huge natural.
He doesn't, though. That was just long.
I thought he made it. Did that look good to you?
It did.
And there he goes.
Good job, fellas.
Shorty Ruiz taking down Sam Esser in our first tournament since February. It's the 4-man Icebreaker Challenge in Tucson, Arizona. Dave, we have another great one coming up. In fact, you have to get ready for this match. So,
Well, before I get ready, let's talk about the difference makers in that second game. Shorty, who seemed to be tired, won 10 of the 13 6-plus shot rallies. So he's dominating these longer rallies against Sam. I think a lot of that has to do with his experience on the 3-wall court and Sam really not knowing the right shots to hit or the right court positioning. Now Shorty once again led with right-hand rally enders 13-8. But it was Esser who made 9 errors to Shorty's 6. So, he's losing the long rallies, he's making more errors, and he's hitting less right-hand kills. That's a recipe for losing games.
now, didn't you say that in the first game that they were only separated when it comes to errors by 1 or 2? It was like
Right.
7-6 in favor of Shorty having the more errors.
Right, Shorty had 9 errors in that first game. Sam had 7. So
Okay.
that was kind of insignificant, but the error difference combined with the longer rally differential for Shorty, and you can see why Sam wasn't able to hold that big lead.
So Shorty gets you into a rally, there's a good chance he's going to win it.
And
I mean,
as far as this match,
right.
second game went, yes.
We'll have those complete stats. We'll throw them up here for you.
Okay.
It's the conclusion of game number 2 and the match. Shorty Ruiz wins game number 1, 21-17, comes back, and he found himself down 1-12 in game number 2, and he comes back and wins that one by the score of 21-16.
Well, I thought when Sam was up 12-1 and missed that left-hand kill with Shorty 10 feet behind the back line, Shorty's about ready to let that game go. Sam missed that shot, and Shorty kind of decided, okay, I think I'm going to try and at least see what I can do here. Got back in and took over. Scored 20 of the last 24 points of the game, just like he did in that first game, scoring 14 of the last 17.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
Those are big runs.
But that it takes a lot of confidence, and Shorty definitely knows that he has it. And I think in Shorty's mind is, he knows that he's coming into the tournament not in the best shape, still a little bit of that pandemic weight, and he just wanted to feel out this Sam Esser a little bit.
Okay.
And then he flips the switch when he needs to, and the shorty shows up.
Well, I think in addition to that, Sam stopped being aggressive with those leads. You saw him making a lot of good corner kills in the first half of the first and second game, and then, in the second half of both games, he stopped shooting. And when he did shoot, he missed. And that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I also felt like he was forcing it a little bit toward the end when he had some good open shots and he tries to push it a little bit too elite when he could have gone for a pass shot as opposed to those elite kills, especially when Shorty was in front of him. I don't quite understand what he was doing there, but this weather does pull a lot out of you and makes you change your shot selection. You all of a sudden feel like you're desperate even though you're not. It's the weather does change things when it's hot out. Dave, we have another one coming up. The next semifinal match between you and Abraham Montijo coming up next. That's going to be tomorrow. So we're going to wrap this whole thing up. Luckily for us, we don't have food people out here. We don't have tents. We don't have a huge setup, just a bunch of video cameras everywhere. So we're going to wrap it up today, and then we'll be back tomorrow with game number 2 of this 4-man Icebreaker Challenge.
And Sam Esser is not done. He's now in the third place match.
Right. We're going to film that one as well.
Oh, great. Okay.
So thanks for tuning in to another one of these tournaments, even though it's been, 6-7 months since we had one. The World Players of Handball and the Icebreaker Challenge here in Tucson, Arizona. We'll have another match tomorrow at WPHLive.tv.